And Sam Small brought a young man to the platform one night at this revival and said, let this young man give a testimony. So he got up to give a testimony. And the young man got up. He'd just been saved a couple of days. You know what he said? The young man, he was about 25 years old. He said, my wife led me to Christ. And he said, my wife's a good woman. And he said, she'd been praying me for years, and I wouldn't listen. But he said, she finally led me to Christ, and I'm going to tell you how. He said, the other night, only been about a week ago, so the other night, he said, I went to gamble. He said, every weeknight, every Saturday night, I meet with some gamblers, and we gamble. And he said, we were gambling this one night. We got to gambling, and we were sitting there about 12 o'clock at night. Finally decided to knock off and cash in the chips and get out. And about 11:30, 12 o'clock night, one of the older fellows there, about fellow in his 50s, said, boy, I sure wish I'd get me a cup of coffee. And the young fellow said, well, come on home with me. My wife will get us some coffee. And the old gambler laughed at him and said, buddy, ain't a woman in this world get up at 12 o'clock at night and fix a fellow a cup of coffee. And he said, my wife will. And the old man said, what kind of wife you got? And he said, my wife's a Christian. And the old gambler said, well, I don't know what that is. I've never seen one of them before, but I guess it's worth seeing. So they went on down there to the apartment house. Back in those days, 12 o'clock was late at night, man. And about 1 o'clock in the morning, he came to that apartment, knocked the door, banged the door in the bedroom, and said to his wife, get up and get us some coffee and hurry up. Don't take all night about it. And she got up and put on her wrapper and went back there and fixed him some coffee and came back in. While she was going out there fixing the coffee, the old man said, you know, I can't imagine a woman like that, a good woman like that, marrying a scoundrel like you. And the young fellow said, I don't understand it myself either. But he said, I get along. She's a good wife. She comes in and puts down the coffee on the table in the tray. And she started to turn around and go out, and the young fellow winked at the old fellow and knocked the coffee off the tray. And said, this stuff is colder than H.E. Get us some more and hurry up about it. She picked it up and went back in the kitchen. The old man said, man, so how do you live with a woman like that? The young fellow said, I don't know. I think I'm going crazy half the time. She was talking about going to heaven, you know, and going to hell and stuff, just about to drive me up the wall, man. So I don't see how a good Christian woman like that live with the devil like you. I don't understand that. He said, I don't understand it either. She does. Back she came in. Came back in, put down that coffee there on the table, and about that time she started to go out the door, and the older fellow said, young woman, I want to ask you a question. She said, all right. Drew us up to full height and said, what is it? And he said, what I want to ask you is how in the world could a good, fine Christian woman like you live with a sorry rascal like you got for a husband? And she said, well, she said, I love him. She said, I've been praying for him. I've been trying to get him saved. He won't get saved. And someday she said he's going to die and he's going to go out into hell. And he's going to go out to hell and burn forever and ever and ever and ever, and he'll never be happy again. So she said, I'm just trying to make him happy while he's here, because someday he'll never be happy again. I'll make him try to happy as I can while I'm here. Walked out the door. That old man turned to that young fellow and said, boy, he said, I were you, I'd get saved or blow my brains out one. And the young fellow said, well, I've been thinking about it a good while. And he said, honey, come back in here. She came back in. He began to cry and said, I'm sorry living like this. I want to get saved. And he got on his knees. She led him to Christ. You say, well, that's an unusual case. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And God's woman is an unusual woman. All right, let's go to the Lord in prayer. Now, Father, we ask your blessing tonight upon these ladies. You know what our mothers are gone, our country is gone. And that's the mess we've been in now, about 30 or